tonight I want to warmly welcome our moderator. SciCon has spent over 40 years working in the South with people and communities who are trying to build a just and humane society. So let's warmly welcome our moderator, SciCon.
I want to thank Michael Brown. I want to thank Harry Knox for asking me to moderate tonight. And I want to thank them for inviting all of you to join us here tonight for this dialogue on Christianity and homosexuality. It's a very carefully planned evening that represents a lot of work and thought. We are practicing tonight living together despite disagreement. And I ask all of you, from whatever force makes you a humane and caring human being, to honor that. You know? I know that this is in all of us. So once you hit the streets, you're on your own. But I am conveying this request. Do I have a witness?
You have a witness.
Do I have a witness?
Amen.
All right, thank you so much. Here's what it looks like. I will briefly, and I stress briefly, give some biographical notes that these two guys have handed to me. They are more or less legible. Then, Mike, and I'm doing this from memory, so I'm not looking at my notes. You guys will tell me. Then, speaking from the podium or the pulpit, Michael will speak for 20 minutes. And then Harry will respond for 5. Harry will then speak for 20 minutes. Michael will respond for 5. At the end, anybody who can remember this.
Actually, I'll speak for 20.
All right.
Harry will speak for 20. I'll speak for 5. He'll speak for 5. Right. And then we get to your questions.
Reading from my notes. They have then asked me to ask them questions. And I will tell you, I had a wonderful time because I tried to think of the hardest questions that I could ask each of them, and also the questions that they get asked a lot. And so I will frame those questions, and there is a who responds, how many minutes, how many seconds. I will not attempt to do that from memory, but rest assured, these are briefer. And then, hopefully, there will be time left, and I will then read the questions that you have asked. I can't promise we'll get there. I will do my best, and they will do their best. Does this make sense as an evening? Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Should the extraordinary self-restraint and time control that these two guys have exhibited in the past fail them at any moment, I will gently but firmly assist them in returning to the course. Okay? So, Harry Knox is director of the Religion and Faith Program at the Human Rights Campaign, the nation's largest lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender advocacy organization. Harry is a graduate of Lancaster Theological Seminary in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and is honored to have received his Distinguished Alumni Award, the Robert V. Moss Award for Excellence in Ministry, in 2005. He is a member of First Congregational United Church of Christ in Washington, D.C., and celebrated his 26-year-long crush on his partner, Mike Bozeman, this Valentine's Day today. Dr. Michael Brown is the director of the Coalition of Conscience, which is a network of Christian leaders and believers working together for moral and cultural change through the gospel. He also serves as president of Fire School of Ministry in Concord, North Carolina. He holds a PhD in Near Eastern languages and literatures from New York University and is a published biblical scholar. He is the author of 20 books and the host of the Jewish Christian TV series Think It Through, and he has spoken throughout America and in more than 20 nations. Dr. Brown has appeared on numerous TV and radio shows, and his work has also been featured in publications such as the Washington Post, the Charlotte Observer, the Baltimore Sun, and Charlotte Magazine. Michael, would you open the evening for us?
Thank you. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you, Harry, for joining me in this dialogue, and happy Valentine's Day to all. Before I get into the heart of my comments, I want to make a few things very clear. I'm not speaking from the vantage point of moral superiority as a heterosexual to a homosexual, but as someone who fully believes that we all depend on the mercy and grace of God, believing with all my heart that Jesus shed his blood for homosexual and heterosexual alike. I also believe, personally, that heterosexuals have done more to destroy the family than have any gay activists. And I'm ashamed of the rampant pornography, divorce, and scandals that have plagued the heterosexual church in recent years. So there's no self-righteousness here. Let me also say that there'll be no gay bashing on my lips because there's no homo hatred in my heart. What you see is what you get. You can also be assured that before preparing these notes, I spent many hours listening. I've listened to those who say they are ex-gays, to those who say that they love Jesus and have found spiritual affirmation in their homosexuality, to the gay leaders who've appealed to me to grant them what they consider basic human rights, to biblical scholars and theologians who've challenged the historic teaching of the church. And in my listening, above all, I've sought to listen to God's voice in the Scriptures and in the face of Jesus, as well as to the quiet voice of conscience and reason. It's only after that that I stand to speak. And I want to appeal to you to hear me with as open a heart and mind as is possible. And let me also point out that my personal sympathies and leanings are often with those who challenge the religious system and take on the establishment. So the countercultural appeal of the gospel resonates deeply with me. I'm all for healthy revolution in the church. Let dead orthodoxy be exposed when it departs from the gospel. Now, a Christian response to homosexuality, it's the question before us tonight. A Christian response to homosexuality must fully agree with the spirit and attitude of Jesus himself, meaning that as followers of Jesus, we must be willing to put aside our own interests and lay down our lives to help a hurting world, overcoming evil with good and hatred with love. And if homosexual practice is in fact sinful in God's eyes, a point we'll talk about shortly, then we must not only proclaim the truth, we must give ourselves to reach out to gays and lesbians with compassion and long-suffering, understanding the tremendous rejection many have experienced, the inner conflicts many have dealt with, especially if they also tell us that they're people of faith. And the Christian response to homosexuality must also look at the bigger picture, and not just focus on a few proof texts. It must combine mercy and justice, inclusion and standards, sensitivity to human hearts, but even greater sensitivity to God's heart. It must remember that Jesus, who was perfect in holiness, reached out to the disenfranchised, to the ones that society was afraid to touch. So how does all this relate to our question tonight? Good place to start is John 1:17. For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. So a Christian response to homosexuality must be one of grace and truth. And I don't want to appeal to your emotions alone. I don't want to insult your ability to carefully process the issues we're weighing. I want to speak with grace and truth. And I want to ask you, are you ready to listen with hearts and minds? And for those who've already prejudged the issues and came in assuming I'm wrong, are you secure enough to ask yourself tonight, if it's possible, I could be right? Are you willing to give me a hearing? So going back to the twin themes of grace and truth, we'll begin with grace. And I'm sad to say that in many respects the church has fallen short here, treating gays and lesbians as the worst of sinners, demonizing a whole group of people because of the words and actions of a segment, not providing an environment where they can work through their struggles, proclaiming God's judgment more loudly than his love. And for this, from my heart, I offer my apologies as a Christian leader and as a follower of Jesus. And I pledge to do better and to help others to do better as well. So to be candid, in some profound ways, we have sinned against you in the gay and lesbian community, but I will not add to this the sin of being dishonest. Truth is beautiful, especially when contrasted with lies and deception. We thank people who are truthful, like doctors and colleagues and friends that tell us the truth. Their words may hurt for the moment, but in the end, they bring healing. So what's the truth about